In Pasadena, 210 West, right at the 134. It's an investigation into a fatal crash. 2 right lanes are blocked. Watch for spectators slowing coming up on that. And another fatal crash investigation, this time in San Dimas, northbound 57 at Covina Boulevard. Crews blocking the 2 right lanes. Little bunch up here from Villa Verde. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Ryan Duggan.
Contractor license 1047-781.
$129 will make a world of difference in the efficiency of your air conditioner, because just $129 is all it costs to have one of my genius Gettle technicians come to your home and perform a complete system rejuvenation.
We're going to clean and adjust your air conditioner
And make 6 critical adjustments to bring it back to factory specs.
Rejuvenation reduces breakdowns and makes your AC last longer.
A lot longer.
rejuvenation.
And we'll clean the coils the right way, not the easy way.
You do not want to face Ken Goodrich if he finds out you did it the easy way.
You can't imagine how much difference it makes when the coils have been cleaned the right way. 6 critical adjustments and external coil cleaning the right way. Kenny and the boys are going to make your air conditioner sing like paparazzi.
I think you mean Pavarotti.
Yeah, him too.
Gettle, Goettl. We're the ones to call.
But it's hard to spell.
It was a beautiful June morning in Southern California.
Birds were chirping, the sun was shining.
And somewhere on a quiet residential street, a sink was clogging.
The couple experiencing the clog
Mr. and Mrs. JP
did something they had never done before. They called the Smell Good plumbers at Mike Diamond.
I'm Mike Diamond. I guarantee my plumbers will show up on time and unclog your sink for $99.
A technician showed up promptly and unclogged the sink.
A few months later, a much more intensive problem turned up in the bathroom.
Mr. JP called Mike Diamond again. They worked up a plan and the repair was made.
Mr. and Mrs. JP felt good enough about the experience to sit down and write us an email.
They commended the Smell Good plumbers on their service and closed by saying they would use Mike Diamond on future services and recommend them to anyone in need of plumbing repairs.
We love Mr. and Mrs. JP, and we'd love for you to read their testimonial and more before calling your next plumber. The address is MikeDiamond.com, or just call us at 1-800-446-MIKE. Contractor's license number 399170.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Do you think I'm going to get in trouble for what I just said?
Sure hope so.
The boss is outside the window here.
She's waiting.
Not good. If we just keep going.
She won't come in? You want to
Staring
bet?
at the light.
Gary and Shannon. Weekdays at 10 a.m. on KFI. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight. All over the world, you can hear the sounds of lovers in love. You know what I mean? Just the two of us and nobody else in sight. There's nobody else, and I'm feeling good just holding you tight. So listen very carefully, closer now, and you will see what I mean. It isn't a dream. The only sound that you will hear is when I whisper in your ear, I love you. Forever and ever. There's a kind of hush all over the world tonight. All over the world, you can hear the sound of lovers in love. La 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 la.
To talk to George Norrie, call the Wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies toll-free, call 800-618-8255. To reach George via Skype, use Skype name George97313. Send George a text message anytime at 818-298-6521. From the City of Angels, this is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Next hour, Dr. Shelley Kerr joins us as we talk about regression and how to heal yourself through the power of your ancestors. So I'm looking forward to that. to be sure. We'll be back with final calls in a moment with Gary Grossman and Ed Fuller, authors of Red Deception and also Red Hotel, in just a moment. But have you signed up yet to become a Coast Insider? It's only 15 cents a day.
This is Lisa. I'm a Coast Insider because I can't always stay up to listen to Coast Live. Being an insider lets me listen to it first thing in the morning, and sometimes even when I'm at work.
Hey, it's Mike from North Carolina, and I'm a Coast Insider. And if you're like me, you get a little sad each time the live show ends every night, but that's okay because I can listen to the show anytime, anywhere, right on my phone.
I'm Dawn from Glendian Beach, Oregon. I'm an insider. Living in a rural area, it gives me access to listen to any show.
Any show indeed, 15 cents a day. Go to coasttocoastam.com. Right at the top of the homepage, it says Coast Insider. Click that, fill it out, and sign up, and you'll be a member, and you'll love it. They're using stem cells now to build our immune system.
HealthyLooking.com has brought you stem cell-based products for the skin and hair growth and is now offering the Stem Cell Wellness Kit to protect your body's stem cells and assist your immune system. Here's Dr. Millay with more.
Whether it's physical activity, obesity, diet, smoking, low on hormones, stress, sleep disorders, or your age can be supported by reducing inflammation and aiding the body to heal itself appropriately. A stem cell is a cell waiting to be told what it needs to be. If there is inflammation, that inflammation needs to be stopped. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, kidney disease, various types of cancer, depression, Alzheimer's disease, autoimmune disorders, osteoporosis, even fatty liver are chronic signs of inflammation and can be aided by supporting the body's ability to protect those cells that it needs. And that is the purpose of ImmuStem and AdaptoStem together, supporting the body to be the best it can be.
Dr. Millay, how will I feel after taking AdaptoStem and ImmuStem?
The ImmuStem is going to have an immediate effect, but I guarantee you that your immune system is starting to function better after 24 hours. You put AdaptoStem along with it, you will feel it in 30 minutes.
Order now at HealthyLooking.com. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit from Dr. Millay protects your body's stem cells and will make you feel better faster. The Stem Cell Wellness Kit with AdaptoStem and ImmuStem and your free gift Relaxol is only available at HealthyLooking.com or toll free at 800-563-3980. That's 800-563-3980. Don't forget to enter promo code George for free shipping. George's Stem Cell Wellness Kit at HealthyLooking.com. That's HealthyLooking.com.
You know, summer is a time for fun, excitement, whether it's leaving your worries behind and going on vacation for a few days or just leaving your comfort zone and trying something new today. You can do that with HelloFresh. HelloFresh, you can try new dishes without the usual hassles of cooking something for the first time. There's no puzzling over complicated directions or hunting down ingredients that you'll only use once. I've tried this. This is amazing. And no need to put grocery shopping and meal planning on your summer calendar because HelloFresh now offers 50 menu and market items to choose from each week. With new recipes constantly being added, you pick what you want, so there's always something new to try. Meal options for every occasion, inspired by different cuisines, even quick dinners and 10-minute lunches, perfect for kind of switching things up. And with pictures and easy-to-follow directions and pre-measured ingredients, it's really easy. Go to HelloFresh.com/George14. This has changed. And use code George14 when you get the website to now get up to 14 free meals and free shipping. That's code George14 at HelloFresh.com/George14.
Look, you might have dreamed of discovering lost treasure when you were a child, but I bet you never thought you could actually have some. Incredible, I know, but now you can. There's a hoard that sank aboard the SS Central America in a hurricane back in the 1800s. There were about 10 tons of gold coins, bars, and nuggets in the hold. And it all stayed on the seabed until a dive boat found the ship of gold in 1988. Since then, some of the scarce and valuable coins have been recovered from the shipwreck. These coins don't just come up on the market, so when they do, you've got to snap them up quick. The $20 gold Liberty coins are incredible. Imagine a fantastic piece of history sitting in your hand, and such a valuable heirloom to pass down to the next generations. Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
George Norrie back with our final segment with Ed Fuller and Gary Grossman. Ed, we did have Ho Chi Minh come to us before the Vietnam War, and we turned him down. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. And again, the people involved in that are long gone. They made a decision. We can sit there and say they made the wrong decision, but they made that decision, and you can take that to almost, not all, but almost every conflict during the Cold War.
Absolutely. Fidel Castro.
Absolutely.
Same thing. Absolutely.
And so I went over to Vietnam many years. I was there in 70, and I went over again with Secretary of Commerce Gutierrez with a delegation trying to help them build back, whether you want to call it guilt or not. I was the only veteran in the group, and they were all very conscious of me when we were sitting holding negotiations and discussions, especially in Hanoi. The fact is that the Vietnamese have been through wars with the French, Cambodians, Thais. They've been through that all the time. Yeah. And they were looking to set up a real government, and they had two dictators on their hands. So you could never find the right solution between the two of them. And we as much created it as did when we drew a line across Korea, as guilty as the British when they created Kuwait out of nothing and the Gulf states. The colonial system and our current environment are overlapped and were often created by that.
Now, we're back to Russia for a moment. Where does Dmitry Medvedev fit in?
Well, you can try to call what's going to happen in the future, but I've just spent the last 48 hours following this meeting in Moscow, and the question for me is, what does Putin want? I may be one of those people, because I spent time in that country, that believes he's got a strategic plan and that he has every belief that he is going to win one or another post which will give him sufficient power to be running Russia. So then you start looking at the people who either haven't gotten a good rating on their report card or are being pushed out of power. He's resituating. When the new president of China came in, my Chinese friend said the first 5 years he fires all the key generals in the army, because in these countries, if you don't have the army, you do not stay in.
That's right.
And put his own people in, and virtually in the 6th year, he announced he had every intention of being ruler for life.
Let's go back to the phones. Joe, Long Island, New York, east of the Rockies. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, hi, guys. I have two questions, Gary and Ed. One about China and one about the book. With China, it's different than Russia. They make or manufacture so many things for us, and elsewhere, that eventually you would think they potentially we're going to leverage that in nefarious ways. My second question would be about this type of book. The scope is so grandiose that a small scene, like a PT 109 scene, or something like that, does that even really matter? And then you have an aftermath, a nuclear explosion, and everybody, half the world is dead, and then you pull in an aftermath of that.
Joe, great question. It's the kind of question Ed and I ask ourselves all the time. Do we have enough action? Is the action believable? Does the action support the approach to the story that we're doing and where we want to develop the plot? The fact is there are good movies and bad movies and cheap movies and expensive movies, and special effects sometimes make them better, sometimes worse. Just the same thing in books. If a plot is developing and you believe in the characters and you see where it's heading, and there are still surprises because we want to surprise readers, take them out of the moment, here's something that they didn't expect. But is it still believable? If you give up that believability, we're going to lose readers. And we're also going to lose the people who are our experts who support us. We've got people from the FBI who vet what we write, and generals and admirals, intelligence officers, and military experts and Army intelligence experts. If we dive off the deep end and it's not realistic, people won't be with us. And I ran through that in one of my executive books, the second one. It really, I came up with an idea that I thought would be great, and I was working with Navy commander in the Public Affairs Department, and I said, wouldn't it be great if the president has to land a 747, meaning Air Force One, on the deck of the USS Carl Vinson? And he was looking at me and saying, well, that's just not going to happen. And he was talking as if it were real. And he said, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put the lives of 5,000 people at risk, even for the commander-in-chief. We'll be there for the rescue. So building in an action scene, no, we really don't kind of have somebody hit that nuclear button just to make that. But those are discussions that we've had all the way through Red Deception. But I'll let Ed take the first part of the question.
Well, and I'd like to add to Gary's answer. One reason Gary and I are together on this, a lot of the things you read in both books happened, and I was involved with them, and so I could tell you specifically, you have to read the books. If you ask me about a specific event, I can tell you whether it was real, when it happened, and what happened. And I have examples of when Noriega was attacking us in Panama. We were really attacking him, and his troops were very violent, and our hotel was in desperate shape, and we put the customers in the laundry equipment, dryers, washers, everything, to hide them from the troops. I walked that hotel about a couple days after the situation evolved, and every door had been spattered with machine gun fire. They had just gone through the whole hotel. When we stick our nose into an environment, we've got to be able to plan either an exit or a strategy that goes with it. It doesn't always mean it has to be big, and we are all, I think China, Russia, and the U.S., aware that big things, explosions of nuclear weapons, will kind of sign the end of the show for all of us. So the issue becomes really nuanced with threats and accusations and activities, and those activities are usually driven by the leadership in adversarial situations. And you could go to Cuba and write a book all day on that. But the book itself is designed to have real experiences in it that really happened. And the book, then, we build the fiction around it to just enhance it and take the fact that we can't put the real names. When we wrote the first book, we used real names because it was more comfortable for me. I was struggling with that, and then we had to replace them with non-entities or good friends.
I'll also add, and I think we started with this, and George, you mentioned it, Ed's the real deal. Ed has been as much in the anti-terrorism business as the hotel business. And I realized that within 30 seconds when I first met him and heard about some of the exploits. And I'm still hearing about some of them that go on, and they keep working into subsequent books. But to work with somebody who has been there, been in the moment, had to decide what to do to save people's lives, American tourists, staffs, people from the local countries, how do we get them out? Do we choose between who lives and who dies? Those are decisions I haven't had to make. Ed has made them, and to be able to work with him and yet put all of this in a fictional setting, it's just incredibly powerful.
Scary times, though, Ed and Gary. No doubt. I think scarier than 1962, don't you, Ed?
That's, you're right. And I was in college at the time, going to college, in fact, the next year. And as far as I was concerned, I listened to people so concerned about the United States today. And if you just go back in those days when I went to college, I thought this place was going to blow itself up.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of reasons, and then I wound up being pulled to Vietnam, and there were a lot of reasons that we found ourselves in that position, and the mistakes would be no more than hiring the wrong partner in a country, because it has lasting results.
Did you get drafted during that time period?
I was initially drafted because I had changed schools. By the luck of the draw, they stayed my report because I was in officer training, and ultimately I finished at BU.
And you went in as an officer?
Yes, I did. I was in Vietnam as a captain.
Good for you. 9 years Navy for me, but I didn't serve.
I'm sorry, George.
9 years Navy for me, but no action. Not like that.
Well, you get credit for being there, and everybody gets credit. My father was in World War II, but never left the school where he was teaching in, and so we all have to contribute in every way, so congratulations and thank you.
I had left 1 month before Desert Storm in '91, where my unit got called up to Saudi Arabia to work with Schwarzkopf. A long time ago.
Yeah, I've met Schwarzkopf. He was a bear.
Michael in Kansas, welcome to the show. Go ahead, Mike.
Hi, guys. Thank you for your continued service. I just want to get your thoughts on something.
Sure.
The other day, Putin was being interviewed by a journalist from America, and she asked him, did you poison Alexei Navalny? And his reply was, no. Did your government kill the woman in the Capitol on January 6th? Or in other words, who was the real communist here?
He turns it around, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's a master of a phrase that I don't know if I heard before a year or 2 years ago, but it's whataboutism. He is a master of that. He turned it around. It's one of the arrows in his quiver, and the world to stage, and he had the stage for that.
But he was probably right. He didn't poison Navalny. His guys did.
Yeah. Yes.
So technically, he's telling the truth, right?
Technically.
They should have asked him the question, were you responsible for poisoning the guy?
It's that question.
Same way, George.
Yep, absolutely. So where does this take us, guys, in the next 5 years? You first, Ed, and then you, Gary, as we wrap up here.
Well, two things I'm really concerned about is that we're making war too easy. With all the new technology, you don't have to put a pilot in the cockpit. It's operated out of Las Vegas. If this gets too easy and doesn't take as much to get into a war, we stand a real risk of going to war too quickly with major consequences.
Good point.
That's a long-term concern, but it's happening today.
Okay, Gary, how about...
I'm worried about is that we cannot and don't seem to have the ability to sit down and find common ground. I opened over 50 hotels in former locations that in the Cold War would never have been opened. And those were difficult, but frankly, when you got to know your staff and got to know the people, they're more like us than you know.
Absolutely.
And I'll simply say, if you see something, say something. That's what we've got to do for the next 5 years. We never had to do it before. Maybe we'll have to do it forever. But if we see something, and that could be a government, it could be a spy, it could be somebody walking down the street and sees a suitcase that's left out on the street where a suitcase isn't supposed to be. If you see something, say something. It's truly one of the themes that comes through in Red Deception as well, but we need to live that.
Gentlemen, good luck with the book that comes out in moments, Red Deception, and we'll talk to you both when Red Chaos comes out in another year. We'll be back with more on Coast to Coast AM.
Never miss a detail on a show or a guest. Sign up for the Coast Zone email newsletter, available for free at coasttocoastam.com.
Drivers go for a super selection of new Hondas and a super experience? The Norm Reeves Honda Superstore. Start with super value when you sell us your vehicle. Then choose from one of the largest Honda inventories in Southern California. Every new Honda is backed by our exclusive price protection guarantee, which states if you can find the same new Honda for less within 5 days, Norm Reeves will pay you the difference or buy your vehicle back. Plus, our friendly team makes car buying effortless and enjoyable. Hurry in for super selection and a super experience during the Norm Reeves 4th of July event. Visit our super award-winning Norm Reeves Honda Superstore locations in Huntington Beach, West Covina, the Irvine Auto Center, and the #1 Honda store in the world in the Cerritos Auto Square. Plus, we're now open in Vista. Shop online at normreeves.com. As for Global Honda, new vehicle sales 2012.
Still buying bottled water? Really? Eliminate the cost and hassle of buying, well, it's wasteful plastic water bottles. Look what it does to the environment. So let me suggest a Life Source whole house water filtration system where you can have this delicious, clean, filtered water coming out of every tap in your home. And there are no filters to change once they install it, no maintenance at all. You actually forget about it. And what the Life Source water system does reduces the odor and taste of chlorine from your water. And not only are you hydrating your body, your skin, your hair will thank you too. You're buying directly from the factory, which provides installation and customer service for the life of your system. They've been around for 36 years here in Southern California, and if you're looking to join a growing team, Life Source is hiring team members in your area. Call 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009. Visit lifesourcewater.com. Life Source Water. Taste and feel the difference.
What are you going to do with all those masks? I know. Squirrel hammock.
KFI AM 640.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
COVID harder to shake. I'm Phil Hewlett from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Herd immunity may be on hold because the Delta variant blamed for massive outbreaks in India is taking hold here.
It's basically ravishing their society right now because it's so highly transmissible.
That's infectious disease expert Dr. David Pride. He says, though there have only been a few dozen cases in SoCal so far, if a large number of people do not get vaccinated, then the variant could eventually grow strong enough to get around the current vaccines. The body of a 16-year-old boy from Canoga Park has been recovered from Lake Havasu. His football teammates at Canoga Park High School are shocked.
Of course, it seems odd to me. It's hard to believe, and it's heartbreaking.
The boy went missing while swimming with a group of people on Sunday during the rescue attempt. A relative fell from the back of the boat and was hit by a propeller. Two other people who jumped back into the water also started struggling and nearly drowned. The CHP may start keeping a database to track road rage incidents following the death of 6-year-old Aiden Leos in Orange County. OC District Attorney Todd Spitzer says he wants California to create legislation making road rage a specifically defined crime. The Gold Line is currently in the finishing stages of an extension from Azusa to Pomona. Now officials in both L.A. and San Bernardino counties are asking Sacramento for an additional $540 million to extend it 3 more miles to Montclair. If that happens, that would be the first time L.A. Metro trains crossed county lines. Southland weather from KFI, low clouds and fog to start your day. Those clouds will stick around at the coast. Otherwise, it'll be mostly sunny inland. High temps get right about 90 degrees in the valleys and the IE, 80 or so in Metro LA and Orange counties, upper 60s at the beaches. Not much change for tomorrow's forecast. Right now in La Mirada, it is 64 degrees. Lake Forest is 62. El Segundo, 61. And in Sherman Oaks, currently 63 degrees. We lead local. From the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Phil Hewlett.
Making your way through Pasadena, westbound side of the 210 right at the 134. It's an investigation into a fatal accident. Crews are blocking the 2 right lanes, so they're slow as you approach this situation. Hawthorne, southbound 405 before Rosecrans. Solo car spin out. Vehicle facing the wrong way against the center divider. CHP's on scene. A full freeway closure in Huntington Beach this morning. Southbound 405. All lanes shut down at Beach Boulevard for a Caltrans project. You're off there and back on Magnolia. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Ryan Duggan.
It's the 6 Independence Sale, where you can save $1,000 on select mattresses from Sealy, Beauty Rest, and Kingsdown.
Right, Dad. Plus $500 on Tempur-Breeze mattresses.
With your good credit, pay 0% financing for 24 months with your minimum monthly payment at 10% down. Plus save 15% on all Casper mattresses.
Dad, could you tell the marching band to cool it?
Sorry, once they start marching, they can't stop.
So this Independence Day holiday, trust your sleep to sit and sleep.
There are no limits to what we can do together. So let's keep rising, California.
Esquina a esquina, y ahí nos vamos. El mundo es grande, pero lo tengo en mis manos. Estoy muy duro, sí, ok, vamos. Y con el tiempo nos seguimos elevando.
Get vaccinated and wear a mask when it can protect you and others. Your actions save lives. To learn more, visit covid19.ca.gov.
Y dos, mi gente.
Contractor license 1047-781.
Hey, Ken and Winnie, what Rick told us is pretty cool. It's Ken. You know it's Ken. I need to hear you say Ken. Rick runs Gettle Academy, where we train plumbers and AC techs. Rick told me something that made me so happy I had to wipe tears off my cheeks. A student said, I knew working at Gettle was going to be a great opportunity, but I didn't know it was going to change my life. That's what it's all about, Wacky Zacky. When you work at Gettle, you know you matter. You know you're making a difference. Your customers and your coworkers love to see you coming, and they miss you when you're gone. Other companies expect you to upsell the customer, but Gettle techs have only one job: make the customer happy they called us and trusted us to fix their problem. Ken sits down with all the new people once a month and talks about the future, and answers all their questions, and learns all their names. I sit down with everybody once a month just to hear what's on their mind. Come to work for Gettle. GOETTL. You'll be happier than you've ever been.
Did you know that the average American has 97 points they can add to their credit score, but they have no idea how to get them? The data scientists at ScoreMaster cracked the code on how to do it. Adding 97 points to your credit score is like found money. It also means fast loan approvals, huge discounts, and low interest rates on everything, from buying or refinancing a home to leasing a new car to applying for a credit card. How fast is ScoreMaster? One member raised his credit score 33 points in just 5 days. Another person 43 points in just a couple weeks. And we get tremendous feedback from listeners just like you about ScoreMaster. ScoreMaster is so easy, it takes about a minute to get started. And if you're in a hurry, you get to try ScoreMaster for free. That's right, try ScoreMaster for free and see how many plus points you can add to your credit score. Just go to scoremaster.com/Tim. That's scoremaster.com/Tim. Scoremaster.com/Tim.
What we're talking about is the crazy, mentally ill, drug-addicted, alcoholic, lunatics on the street that are terrorizing everybody. And they've done nothing for those people. They just took care of the easy stuff. But the difficult stuff, they haven't even tried.
John and Ken, weekdays 2 to 6 on KFI. KFI, AM 640.
I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get down. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
That's him on his knee. I know that's him. Yeah, they tell him come a living down in the boy gym. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get tough. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
Who's always writing on the wall? Who's always moving in the hall? Who's always driving the ball? Guess who?
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Walks in the classroom, cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher daddy-o? Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown, he's a clown. That Charlie Brown, he's gonna get caught. Just you wait and see.
Why is everybody always picking on me?
This is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
I let my board op pick one song for the night, and he picks that one. Well, this was his last day here anyway, so that's okay. Anyways, we're going to come back in a moment with Dr. Shelley Kerr. We're going to talk about her latest work, Heal Your Ancestors to Heal Your Life, on Coast to Coast AM. The refined Skywave SSB radio with the single sideband is the ultimate companion in emergency radio. It fits in the palm of your hand and weighs only 8 ounces, and the reception is superb. The audio is sharp and clear for its small size. The CC Skywave SSB radio gives you access to important communications that your smartphone just isn't capable of getting, like emergency single sideband transmissions, which broadcast during a hurricane or other major earthquake. And the weather's going to get pretty rough these days. In addition, you can listen to your favorite AM and FM broadcasts, Weather Plus Alert, ham radio operators from all over the planet. The only way to get this valuable information is with a specialized sideband radio. It's called the CC Skywave SSB, the radio lover's travel companion. It's a great radio. Call C. Crane now to order the CC Skywave SSB at 1-800-522-8863. Once again, that's 1-800-522-8863, or visit C. Crane online at ccrane.com. Also available at amazon.com for quicker shipping. Credit Karma Money is a new checking account that lets you win daily instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. And when you make a purchase between June 8th and June 30th, you'll be entered to win $1 million. Visit creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc., member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply. If you're tired of the old cable news, you now have a choice. It's Newsmax. And every minute, Newsmax gives you the real news you can trust. Watch people like Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, Dick Morris, Nancy Brinker, Mike Reagan, Rudy Giuliani, and more. Newsmax is on all the major cable systems or free on Roku, Xumo, Pluto, YouTube, and smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching Newsmax now. America's trusted news source. Newsmax TV. It's great to watch. And welcome back to Coast. George Norrie with you. For 2 decades, Dr. Shelley Kerr has worked with thousands of people around the world, helping them achieve greater peace and happiness in their lives. A world-renowned past life regressionist, Dr. Shelley's method of combining energy work with hypnosis
has been endorsed by numerous leaders in the field of consciousness. Many of them have been on our program. Near-death experience pioneer Dr. Raymond Moody, Dr. Brian Weiss. She received her doctorate in philosophy and parapsychic science from the American Institute of Holistic Theology in 2001. She's written a number of books, including her latest, Heal Your Ancestors to Heal Your Life. Shelley, welcome back.
George, thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm looking forward to this. This was a very innovative book. Tell me about this.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Yes, it's based on a process that I started doing with clients many years ago. Because what was happening is, of course, I'm intending to take them into a past life, and I want people to go back to the source event of troubling challenges. But if I sense intuitively we're not getting to the root cause, I started taking people into a space where they could have a visionary encounter with the higher selves of their mom and dad. And so we go and say, hey, Mom and Dad, does anyone here need a healing? And if Mom says yes, then we can travel down the ancestral line of our parents into like a scene where we're almost remote viewing on our ancestors. And usually this is a traumatic experience, and we send light and healing, and it changes things very dramatically.
Remarkable. How did this all start for you? Let's go back to the beginning, when you got involved in past life regressions and the